I work with a wide range of creatives, some of whom are at the very beginning of their journey, creating their first product that is going to be put out into the world, like a book or artwork. And I work with creatives who have put their work out for years and have tons of products, tons of books, and are already selling. And with that, no matter what stage you're at, I notice different mindset issues that come up. Whether you've sold 0 products and don't have anything to sell quite yet, or you are selling a lot and doing great. Today, I want to give you a pep talk no matter what stage of your journey that you're at, and go over some of the things that are commonly shared with me about what is stopping people from reaching their goals. Because I bet that you've had one of these thoughts or experiences in the past. I certainly know that I have. And so if you're looking for a pep talk, some inspiration to keep going on your creative journey, this is the video for you. Let's start at the very beginning, because there are a couple things that hold a lot of us creatives back from even getting our work out there in the first place. The first one, and this one is very commonly told to me, is from creatives who feel like they're going to fail before they even start, before they even give themselves a chance to fail. Well, every single author or every single creative, artist, photographer, whatever it is that you look up to and you admire has failed. Probably many, many times. Even if it looks like they've always had success or things just come to them. Of course, some may have more privileges than others, but we've all experienced rejections and failures along our journey, and so will you. But failures are something that I like to add to my experience, to my knowledge, and figure out how I can do better next time. Every single failure is an opportunity to not only improve, but just sometimes things weren't a good fit for someone. Like maybe an example is you're submitting your book and you're terrified of failure and of rejection. Well, maybe you don't get any offers, and that teaches you more about the market. So, for the next book that you write. Or maybe you decide to take the route of self-publishing, which is an amazing, amazing route to take, and your book ends up doing well and reaches the readers that it was meant to. Every single failure or rejection is going to lead you closer to your goals, but you will never know that unless you actually try and put your work out there. So if you are at that spot where you have a book idea in your head, or you want to be an artist, but you're scared of people not liking your work, you truly won't know unless you actually put it out there. And so your mind could be telling you something that's completely wrong, but you're not allowing yourself the opportunity to be proved wrong. The other thing that I'll add to that is that things take time. Nothing's going to be immediate. I know that hopeful feeling of launching your first product and waiting for the sales to come through and they don't. I've been there. A lot of us have been there, but your first launch shouldn't be and probably won't be as good as your 5th launch or your 10th launch. Things are going to keep improving. You're going to keep learning. You're going to keep growing your audience over time of people who love your work and are fans of you. So again, feeling like disappointed or giving up or feeling like a failure because of one product that didn't go as you expected isn't allowing you the opportunity to improve and learn and grow. And that's what life is all about and what being a creative is all about too. The next thing is the fear of plagiarism or making sure your work is copyrighted and having that stop you from putting your work out there because you're afraid of people copying you. I know that feeling mostly because people repost my poetry almost daily without my name on it. So I get it. But the way that I have to look at it is, even though that aspect of it sucks and it's a terrible feeling and I really don't wish it on anybody, I think about the thousands of people that I have impacted who do know my name and know that that's my work and love my work and buy my books and join my mailing list and are ready for my next books that would not be there if I never put my work out there because I was afraid of it being copied. Now, I was kind of the opposite. I'll be honest. I didn't have this fear because whenever I put out my work, I was very judgmental of myself and had a lot of self-doubt and didn't think anyone would want to copy it. But it is a rational fear. I completely understand where you're coming from. You put a lot of effort and creativity into your work. This is your brain on the page, right? And so I completely understand wanting to protect that. And I'm certainly not a lawyer. I can't speak for every country, but I do know that at least for US copyright, whenever you create something, you own that copyright. It is yours. It came from your brain, but it can be really hard to prove where it came from first. You can take steps like registering it with the Copyright Office, and you're free to do that if that's something that makes you feel better. However, please don't let that stop you from putting your work out there when it can really make an impact on people, because making an impact is why we create, right? To make an impact not only on ourselves, but if you want to share your work with others, I'm assuming that it's because you want other people to enjoy your work that you've created. So don't let that stop you, because you're going to impact more people than those who are going to copy you or take inspiration from you or whatever you want to call it. Okay, now the next couple really come down to marketing and promoting your work. But giving up too early is another one that I see all too often. And I, again, understand, because there's been many times where I've wanted to give up and something in my brain has told me just wait a little bit longer. And it's always been worth it to wait a little bit longer. But I do understand how it can feel, especially if you do find it uncomfortable to promote or talk about your work. And all of a sudden you are all the time because you want to make an impact with your work and for people to find it and love it. But giving up too early before you've had the chance to find your own version of success and to learn what works for you and to try the many different marketing tactics that are out there, it would be a shame if you gave up on yourself and your project before it had its chance. I think a mindset issue that needs to be resolved is that you can launch something, put something out, release a new book, a new product, whatever it may be, and not get sales that first week and be really disappointed and give up. But your products have a long lifespan. And I've said this before, your sales don't start and end on day one. They can come for years down the line. And so I understand being discouraged if that first week or first month or first 6 months don't go well. But if you keep going, you're going to start learning, what messaging does my audience listen to? What posts do best for social media? Maybe I prefer podcasts and I like going to be a guest on podcasts and reading from my book there. Maybe I like in-person book fairs. You have so much time to learn what works best for you and what you really enjoy and thrive off of, that if you gave up after week one and said, well, this book was a flop, it didn't work well for launch, and now I'm done talking about it, no one wants to hear about it anymore, you're not giving yourself the opportunity to learn, again, what works for you. Okay, the next one that I think really holds people back from marketing their books and their products in a unique way is comparing yourself to others on social media. Now, don't get me wrong, I think there are a lot of benefits to doing research on social media and looking at what others are doing and trying to adapt that to yourself. However, it also can add a lot of negativity to our mindsets if we are only comparing ourselves to numbers and looking at other people's numbers and getting discouraged about the numbers and kind of forgetting the meaning behind those numbers. And what I mean by that is if you are getting 5 likes, 10 likes consistently from different people who are interested in your product, those are potentially 10 sales right there. And so, yeah, that might not sound like a lot if you're comparing yourself to someone who's getting hundreds of thousands of views or has hundreds of thousands of followers or has sold 1 million books, but they're probably going to have a larger audience already because of that. And so if we are only comparing ourselves to other people who have been doing it longer or got lucky and hit it big and had a viral post, and now all of a sudden on day one they have 30,000 followers and you've been working at it for years and you don't, that can feel extremely discouraging. And I'm not saying or minimizing and saying that you shouldn't feel that way. However, I think it's really important to go back to those numbers and take a look at your own and remember that these are individual people who are potentially interested in your sales. Hopefully some of them have already purchased, and if they haven't yet, this is your opportunity to continue nurturing your current audience, whether it's 20 people or it's 5,000 or whatever it may be. Use social media as a place for research and trying to figure out what works best for you and your brand and your content. However, please try, I know that it's easier for me to just say it than do it, but try not to compare yourself to other people because we all have our own uniqueness. We all have our own brand, the way we communicate to our audience. We have our own creativity that actually created this product. Your book is different than my book, and so on and so forth. And so those are the things that you want to lean into in your marketing that other people can't, because you're you, right? No matter where you are in your journey, there are going to be mindset things that come up and hold you back and hold me back. And I've been there. I've done every single one of these things on this list that I just gave you. But every time I open my inbox or my social media, DMs, and see another person who is passionate about what they do and they're creative, and us creative souls, we can tend to be a little sensitive, right? And you're feeling discouraged, my heart really goes out to you. And that's why I wanted to make this video, because every time I see one of those messages, I respond, of course, and tell them how I feel and tell them not to give up. But I just want to tell everybody that your journey is your own. Comparing yourself can really hold you back. Sometimes we hold ourselves back so much by thinking about the failures that could happen rather than the opportunities, the positives that could come out of something. We worry about people copying us. We worry about people not liking it instead of thinking about the people who will and how amazing that's going to feel. And so anyone who feels like they're holding themselves back because of any of these reasons, I hope that today you will set aside some time to work on your next creative project or promote your latest creative project, because your work deserves it. It deserves to be out in the world and to be seen. If it feels like this video was all over the place, sorry, it's because it was. I just wanted to ramble from the heart for a second and hopefully inspire you and give you something to think about. If you would like my assistance with marketing your creative work, I definitely recommend getting on the waitlist for the Creatives Content Club, which will be opening here very, very soon this month. That is my marketing membership for creatives, where I help you through monthly lessons on social media. I deliver a monthly content plan with templates and captions, and now even email newsletter ideas for you, so you can take that plan and run with it for the month and know what to post. And so much more inside the club, including the ability to ask me any questions you have and do live Q&As. And I even look at your social media content. It is really hands-on and really an amazing community. So I'll link the waitlist for that in the description of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful week ahead, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.